Hello and welcome along and welcome back to Charwell, where today it is day 5 of summer. It's late summer and our wheat in field 43 has come ripe. Time to harvest. Only trouble is we currently don't have a harvester. So yeah, as I said in my intro, the field 43 is ready to harvest. Field 45 is ready to harvest, and we need a harvester. We need something to cut it with. So we've only got £3,683. So we're going to have to rent something for now because I want to borrow as little money as possible. Now, last time we went with this, the CR690 setup. I think we're going to go with something a little bit older this time. Simply because if we're trying to keep the cost down, going for an older combine will do better for us. That kind of leaves our choice between these two here. Between the Dominator 108 SL Maxi and these small combine harvesters. I think we're going to go with this. 43,000 for a combine is really, really good money. That's for a TX30. TX30 is only 140 horsepower. TX34, yeah, look at the wow. If we were to do this with just a TX30, we can get a 6-meter header for this. Now, do we need a specific amount of power for that header? So you can see here we can go for a 7.6 meter header. So that says a TX36 or a top liner 2. So a 7-meter header, which is about the same size as we had before, would work really, really well for us. It'd be 19,000, but rental would be fairly low. Failing that, it's, yeah, so that would be a 4-meter head would be the small. So we want to, essentially we want a TX36. But I think we should go for something a little bit different. Maybe we should go for a Deutz-Fahr top liner. And so we're going to do that. We're going to lease this for £994. So that is good. And then we can, nope, that is the wrong combine. Then we're going to go for a Deutz-Fahr top liner here. We should be able to go. Yeah, there we go. Top liner 2. 250 horsepower. That will cost us £273 pound to do. So we're gonna properly get it. Mitas, or I think we'll stick with the Trelleborg standard or wide tires. I think we'll go with the standard. No GPS because this is a really old combine. Now the capacity, we could go 5. Yeah, I think we want full capacity. So we need 2,900. We've got 2,600. So we are going to have to borrow a little bit of money. But thankfully, only a little bit of money. There we go. And then we will rent that combine as well. So where is it? There we go. Our small combines. So top liner 2. We're going to go with the Deutz. And up the capacity. So there we go. That is what we're going with. We're going to lease that. These are also really, really cheap per day. So we are in a great position to hold this for our entire harvest. And as a result, will not cost us a lot of money. Now this here, yeah, this here is our header. I don't think, yeah, that's the 6.1 meter header. This is the one that should do our top liner. So we'll grab that there and lease that as well. Okay. Now hopefully that will take our headers too. But looking pretty good. So yeah, we're going for something a little bit different. We're going for a Deutz-Fahr combine. It is basically the same thing as the TX combines, but I wanted to do something, as I said, a little bit different. A little bit of a departure from what we've done everywhere else. And plus, having the TX, we have that effort. That has been around a lot. So we're going to get this lined up. and hopefully connect it up so that we can get our... Yeah, there we go. And get this onto our trailer. I want to put this a little bit towards the back. I mean, it is... I think that this this header trailer actually is probably a little bit small for what we want. So I'm going to switch this out. Let's return that. So we'll return that. Yes. Yeah, it's only a 4-meter header, a trailer that. Fortunately, we do have other options as far as header trailers go. That one there is a 6-meter. This one here, this is the one we want. So we're going to lease that instead. It's a little bit more expensive to lease it, but still a lot less expensive than everything else. And we can get this header on to the header trailer. I don't know. Yeah, we need to detach the PTO and the other bits. There we are. Disconnect it. Looking good. This does have a tow hitch on it as well, so that will work for us too. And yeah, it's all about doing something a little bit different in this series. So let's get this up to field 45, and then we will be in position where we can we should be able to get this harvested fairly well. 7.1 meters is quite a wide header on a combine like this. Now I'm presuming that this also has a long enough auger to handle this. It would be a little bit strange and a little bit off if it didn't. So yeah, there is that. Like at the inside of this, of course, this is a modification of the standard in-game TX 32. But I like it. I like this mod pack. It works well. It gives you a little bit more variety in them. The headers, I think there is a header that I've enabled that is separate, but this pack does come with its own set of headers that are pretty good and pretty nice, as you can see. And 7,000 litres, just over 7,000 litres, is a fair enough capacity for us to handle what we need to do. And you can see all of our crops are getting very, very close. I think we're going to end up with a day's grace between doing this field and doing the next one. And if we have a quick look, our weather forecast is good for today and tomorrow. So we're going to be, I think what we're going to do is this video, we're going to be harvesting at this field. Next video, I think we're probably going to bale this field. I've taken that a little too wide, I think. Yeah. While it's not obvious, we are a little bit caught on the bit there, but we're good now. Right. Let's bring this round here. Reverse up our trailer so that we have a good access to the header. There's one of the nice things about this field. There is plenty of space to turn around. Right, and up, forward a little bit, and we should just be able to back up and then get straight into the crop in this. And hook it up. Lift it up and back off. Right. We need to hook up our PTO and our cables, unfold everything, start it up. I'm going to lift the comb a little bit and into the field. Now, I think this should be dropping straw. It is. That's great news. So, decent sized header, good sized tank on this. We'll see how far we get around the field. We'll take about a tank, 2.5 tanks, I think, off this in our trailer. We'll check that when we go and get that. But it's looking pretty good. Combine is working well. nice width on it to grab everything, I think we are going to do okay. Now we're about 2/3 of the way through the field and about 80% full. It means, to me, this actually means this is a really, really great combine for this map. This is kind of the sort of distance that I remember when I was younger, would be how far we would get round a field before we would have to empty. And we're actually up at this top corner is a really good place for us to do that. So I'm gonna go a little bit further, and then we're gonna pop out, and we'll just reverse up, and we've got plenty of space up there for us to get a tractor and trailer beside us to empty. So if I just pull up here like this, it does have enough reach on our auger, which is very good news. So let's put our header down, and we will head back to here. Now we don't want that, I want our JCB for this. And we'll get that into reverse and get that out. So we've got a nice big weight on the front already. Now I'm considering, I want your thoughts on this. There's a brand new JCB out, and I kind of want to go and check it out and see whether it's any good and whether we should swap this one for it on here. My only reservation is that one of the things I like about this, which is something that you can't do on actual JCBs, is I really, really like the black nose we've got on it with the line across it. So that top grill being black, and it's the reason why in the past I haven't taken this JCB off this map and switched it out for one which is working and functioning a bit better, because I do like the black nose we've got in this JCB. So my question really to you guys is, should we switch it out? Should we try out that new JCB mod that's about? Because as much as I like this, I think we should probably have one where I can actually disable the crabs or the four-wheel steer, which is our biggest problem with this. But as always, your thoughts are very welcome, and I'd like to know what you guys think we should do, where we should go with this series. As I said, we are going to be on here a while yet. My plan at the moment is that this series will eventually be replaced with Lancey Boy's next map when that comes out, or when we're able to have a play with that. Let's bring this up. This Deutz does fit in rather well with our trailer. There we are. That is a very cool looking setup. And there we go. That's finished. Let's jump back in. We'll just back this up a little bit. Make sure that we're out of the way. So 7,132%. So this will take 3 loads off this combine, which is quite good because that will just keep our combine going that much longer as a result. Now I'm not quite sure, where am I going to tip this is the next question. We could tip it into our shed, which yes we could. We could also, we do have grain store facilities. This is something that we learnt last time, is we have a yard that is that has a grain store that we can use just the other side of field 42. Now my thought is we could sell the grain store we have in there, and then go and place a new grain store in our yard. So if I come back to here and we have a look in what we have here in our garage, you can see I want the owned items. You can see here we have a large grain silo, 77,000, and then we've got large silo extensions, so we could sell all of those, and make that money back and use that to buy a silo. So I think we might do that. I think we might get those sold. They do have stuff stored in them, if I remember correctly. So if we look in here, there is a little bit of stuff stored in that that we kind of want to get rid of and want to
we'll end up selling at the same time. Yeah, and that's possibly something we should have done before we started this. We had 2 days to harvest this, but as I said, we want to get this field baled as well, and make money off the straw. We don't need the straw for our pigs. We've got plenty of straw for this year for our pigs, but it is needing to get this sorted and get ourselves in a really good position to store stuff. And we've got, if I have a look through here again, there we are, come on, there we go, cruise control on again. If we have a look at what we have available building wise for silos, we've got quite a selection at the moment. And I would very, very much like to get maybe one of these 110s, or, I mean, that one would be awesome. But there's, yeah, 120 for that one. So there's a few silos and things that we could do here that would be really quite useful to us. That is the one I'd really like to do. But it's, yeah, 210,000 might be a little bit out of our price range at the moment without borrowing money. So it's, yeah, it's a difficult thing, and we need to kind of plan the yard. We might be all right with this, just doing what we've done before and tipping into the shed. But as we know with that, we can't tip our trailer in the shed, so we'll have to pick up some stuff to do that as well. We're at 86% at this point. So this, up this top corner, really, is about halfway through the field. Judging by that. Alright, lift up, stop there, reverse, and back. These headlands are going down really nicely. And we are at 96%, so we're not too far from our tractor, thankfully. And we'll stop at this point here. We can immediately run back here and grab this tractor. And I think we'll end up with another full tank, looking at that, by the top of the field. Now, I'm trying to work out whether I would be best off doing a third headland. I think we might get a, and that'll get us a third tank off here. And then we can, I think our best bet, actually, is at the moment, and for this year, we'll go and use that yard and that piece of storage that we have available to us for this year's crops. The idea being that when we'll then look at selling all the crops at the end of this year, and having done that, we can go and make the money doing that way. And that will work well for us. I'm going to pull this forward a little bit, let it empty into the middle, and then we can go and get our second headland done. This is a nice sized field. All the fields on this map are really nice sized. They all work really well, especially for the size of equipment we're using on here. I'll turn that off. Do we still have our... I think we turned our beacons off. Yes, we did. We need to turn the beacons off on our combine. So, off with those. In with the auger. Start her up. And away we go again. And that is working an absolute treat. Let's continue on and get the rest of this second headland knocked out. And then I think I'll decide on whether we've got enough turning space in this field to start getting the to not have to do another headland. Coming up to the end of the field, and we're going to use this to test how well we can do a turn on here. So if we turn, yeah, I think we need a third headland. Looking at that. There's not really enough space yet to actually turn the combine all the way around. So we'll get a third headland knocked out as well. That will give us the space we need to turn, which will be really good. And should work really well for us. We are going to be full before we get back down to our tractor. But that should be fine. And I don't think we have any great demands or anything on this crop, on the wheat. We will just have a quick look. Yeah, wheat is just standard. 515 at the moment actually is a half decent price though. It's not too bad a price at the moment. I will look at what it could go up to. I think it goes up to like the 700s though. Yeah, 752. So if we sold right now, we would be saying goodbye to 200 £200 per 1,000 litres. Not a good time to sell at all. Yeah, I think we got some spare yard area and things like that we can go and sell bits from and sell. We certainly sell the extra grain silos. We can get rid of those. We can get rid of yeah, just various bits and pieces. I'm very tempted by Alien Jim's silos actually. We could run that. We could run that. That actually might be the better choice for us. So we'll have a look at that when we come when we head back to the yard, and see if we can do those, because we could always add external silos to beef everything up. But I'm just going to pull alongside here, and while this is emptying, we're going to have a look at this silo situation. So we do have, as I said, in the garage here, we have got 2 grain silos that we do not need. So these 2 here, that would give us about 70,000. Now, insofar as silos, we do have the Alien Gym ones on here, I think, because I do love those. That would be, if I find them, here we go. So we could put the red brick one of these in. We could almost recreate this setup here for 59,000. So that would work. That absolutely would work. Now the GSI, oh yeah, we don't have enough money for that. Yeah, there are lots of silo options. So I think we can look at that. If we go back, we have finished emptying. So we'll head back to the farm with this. We are at 98%. So 3 tanks off this combine are actually really good with this Bailey trailer. That is a very, very nice setup between these 2 pieces of kit. But we need to get this back to the farm, and once we've got this back to the farm, we need to go and see how we might extend our farm and where we might start building some buildings, because we want to start expanding, I think, into this area. And the trick will be making sure that wherever we put this stuff, it's easy for us to get into. And ideally, we're coming into this yard here. And I think where we're going to want something is probably towards the other end. So if we have a look on our setup on these, let's go and sell these 2 silos we don't need. So these 2 large silo extensions, we don't need either of these. So let's sell that. And these are both in our secondary yard. So this is the secondary yard. We've got that one there, and we've got these 2 spare grain silos here. So we'll get rid of both of these. They've not got anything in them, so that is all good. And it looks like we've got a couple of other bits and pieces as well that we could sell. Do we have... Are those removable, those 2? No, they're not. Okay. So the large silo we've got, that is not sellable. So what we want to look at now is we have 81,000. That brings a few bits into our ability to do. We've got the Brock bin here. That I don't think has any way of filling it. I think that is just an extension, unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, looking at that, that does have something at that point there. But I don't think that is a place that you can fill it. It looks like an extension, that. So that is out of the way. Bunker silo is not something we want. We got these here, small grain silos, but you need something that you can actually fill. Those are 350, so those are no good. Small grain silo, yeah, silo extension, so those are all out of price range. That is all out of price range. Yeah, pretty much everything is out of our price range except for these ones. So I'm looking at this. I'm wondering if that or that are a good choice for this farm. And then I'm actually thinking the red brick one is. I think that might work with us better. So we'll grab that. And we want to build this here. So you can see where the front of the shed is. And if we put it round here like this, hopefully that will work. The alternative is to put it here like this. And then you either drive through it and round the back, or it's a difficult one, this. I think we might put it here like this. And it gives a little bit of a strange angle to drive through. Well, actually, then what we'll do is we'll do it like this. Now we want to make sure that our gate does not clash with the racks there, but that there will do us nicely. There we go. So, really quickly, we're going to go and build this like so. And up it goes. A nice new red brick silo. Perfect. And yeah, as I said, I wanted to start building the yard at this point, so that is all good. And that now sort of gives us an idea of how our yard is taking shape. We're going to end up, I think, with an area around here. We've got space for a silo there. And this will also give us the chance to test the turning circle on here. So do that. Because that's the only thing that worries me, is have we left enough turning circle to get our tractors around here? It looks like it, but we'll see how it goes. There we go. Right. So can we get our tractor? Oh, let that go down. Can we get our tractor through here? Yes, we can. Perfect. I'm actually quite glad I didn't put it on the angle. That works really, really well. Allows us to come through our yard and keeps us going. So we're going to get back up to the field now. We're going to get some more cuts and get a bit closer. But we're certain we can go and empty that other bin now and get that everything stored back at our farm. And it means that we free up another shed for us to store bits and pieces in, which is really, really cool. We're back on the field, and I'm coming to the end of the third headland. And it's working out pretty perfect, to be honest. We are 95%, I think, by the end of this field. 96, wow. Yeah, so pretty nice going there, really, for the end of the field. We can't cut in with this amount in here. I would like to have had a full tank. But we won't be that shy of a full trailer. But this is a really good yield we're getting off here. You know, to be onto our second trailer and to be nearly 4 full tanks off 3 headlands. That's really, really good. What we're going to do is we're going to cut into the field now. 3 headlands is easily enough for us to turn, but it's just I'm blown away by this at the moment. It looks like we've got a good amount of straw as well. So we're gonna make money off this field, pretty much whatever. What I do want to check is what the straw price is like at the moment, because if we can sell straw right now, that would be good. Straw bales, they're not great, but we don't really want to be storing them. We've got so many in storage anyway that it doesn't make much sense for us to store them. So we are gonna, we're just gonna basically bale this field up. We're looking at getting an Andersen anyway, and then what we'll be able to do is clear that out. Now I'm gonna go a little bit. I'm not quite gonna go with the grain because I want to. Well, the field is. I think we're gonna have to square off the field. As much as I want to go with how I believe that I planted it. With the way we are on here at the moment, I need to straighten this out. So we're going to cut in here on this angle, like that. It's not quite the angle of how the field is, but there's not, as I said, there's not really anything I can do about it because of the way the texture has gone, and I want to cut along the texture. But it's not too bad. We'll be able to work around it, and the way we're cutting and the way we're opening this will work for us fairly nicely. There we go. Up until we hit there. But yeah, normally if we had multi-terrain angle on here, then we'd follow sort of this headland here and have everything done this way. But you can see when we did the headland there, it still came in at this angle. So we'll just cut this corner off, cut this side off, and that will then even things up for us. But we're already, amazingly, we are already a quarter full of just having done this little bit on here. The yield on this field is absolutely brilliant. Everything we've done going from year 1 to year 2 has made the yield of this wheat really, really good, and we could end up with well, we're going to have at least 40,000 litres. We may end up with 60,000 litres of wheat off this field, which is just absolutely superb. Really, really good. And if we get similar yields off our other fields on here, that is going to be a very, very good showing from this. Now we've finished that cutting. I am currently lining myself up so that hopefully I am in a position where I can opening this bit up will mean that I open up to our pit over there. The reason for that is because we want to go round the pit to do it, and maybe sort of divide that into 2 halves. We need to do, yeah, hopefully I can sort of work my way around it. It's a little bit of an odd thing with that in there, but with this, if this cut-in stays as I hope, we should be good. We're at 315 degrees, which is about, well, is pretty much northwest that we're running this, and having squared off the other bit, we should be good with that. The field doesn't quite run northwest, and it's, oh no, it's long. It's a long piece, and we possibly should have emptied before we started it. So I'm going to reverse this out, because we've got an hour. There's no way we can empty this combine where we got to. I was hoping we were going to make it the whole way down there, but because of the length and because actually we have a really good yield, we've got to reverse this all the way out of here so that we can empty without destroying any crops. But this is why you normally empty before you go and cut in, because if you don't, you end up in a situation like this where you have to back your combine all the way out in order to empty it. Right, let's get that over there and get this emptied. But it is doing really well. I'm very much liking it, this combine. This combine is doing a cracking job of this field. Even if I can't seem to get my tractor in the right place to unload it. It is quite a short auger here for this. There we go. It is quite close, but we can empty it like so. So we'll get this emptied, and then what we can do is get on with this cutting, and hopefully, as I said, hopefully we haven't gone too close to the island. Or to the pit. We might have, so I might have to approach this slightly differently. I will come back to you if I do. We haven't quite, yeah, I think I needed to be one more row over. We haven't quite got away with it. We're spot on for where we want to be on the edge of the pit, but we still have 2 rows worth on the other side, I think. So we'll have to run back up the other side and get that done. But it would have been better if this had been the final row that we ran down on. We are 76% full again, though, which is absolutely great news. We're going to be emptying well before we have to cut in, which is good. It means we shouldn't have a repeat of what we had a minute ago. And I'm still really impressed by the yield of this field. It is doing an absolute bang-up job of us ending up with being in a really good position. I mean, remember, this is just our first field of this season. If we can get all of our crops harvested this year, which we should be able to do because we have got the sugar beet, and the sugar beet actually are probably going to go in our shed that we've got all of the bits and pieces in, where we've got stuff currently stored. But if we can do that, if we can get lots, over 100,000, maybe even 200,000 litres of crop, that would just be brilliant. That would be absolutely wonderful position to be in by the end of this year. So let's get this round, and I'll get this emptied again, and we're going to go and empty this at the at our silo, and then I'll continue on, and we'll see where we are when we get our 3rd trailer, hopefully, from this. So I want to cover how I'm going to tackle this pit at the moment. We've got this end of the field finished. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly the same way as I was doing a headland. We've opened it nicely on this side. So if we come around here and we take at least a couple of headlands, maybe, or just at least one headland around it just makes it easier for us to navigate around the whole thing without having to worry about stuff or about bits and pieces. If we take 2 headlands, we really will be able to handle this fine. And again, I'm keeping the auger into the field so that there's not any damage that we can cause by clacking it on a stray branch or anything that we don't see. As you would in real life, you want to protect that auger. You don't want to dent it or bend it, because if you do that, you could prevent it from working, from the screw from actually lifting the grain out of the grain tank. Yeah, I think we'll take 2 headlands around this just to increase our maneuverability. And you can see it's again we're already up to about 65%, 66%. So we're looking at 50,000 litres off this field. Because I think we've got at least 1 tank, probably 2. And the thing is, with 1 tank, that would take us up to 7,100. So we only need another 3,000, and that breaks 50,000 litres on this field. Absolutely astoundingly good, that. We need, though, to get this done here so that we can actually cut in. And we are at 88%, so we're pretty good. I think 90%. So my thing for that then is that we will take the edge off here. See if this gives us our last 10%. And if so, then we're in a good position to clean up this last little bit. And I think it is going to give us our last 10%. So wise not to cut in. But this does just keep us going and keep us in a position. 98, 99, and there we go. Right, bring this up. Get this emptied. And so what we're doing at the moment is I'm going to clean up the stuff north of the pit. Get that harvested, and then we'll go and harvest the stuff to the south of it. But you can see it's with those two headlands in here, it's just a small area that we need to cover. You do have to get pretty close to our header in order to empty this. It's not a massive difference that it leaves you on that. Right, let's jump into this. Start her up again. I'm just going to take it to the end of the field. Yeah, there we go. We know we've got capacity in our trailer for that little bit extra. So just taking this up to here means that I can then just fold in my auger when I'm finished and cut straight in and get rid of this little area at the top of the field here. So that is that little bit done and dusted at the top here, and just leaves us now in a position where we can go and get the bottom half hit done here. And you can see here actually with the markings on the bottom, we were pretty close to how we'd seeded it as well. So it all sort of comes together. It all sort of works together if you're careful with it. But I am, as I said the whole way through this video, I am very, very pleased by how this harvest is turning out. If the rest of our harvests on Charwell turn out this well this year, we are going to be in a good position. We are going to be able to get ourselves sorted for the year. We've got enough, and the daily hire for this combine is actually really low, which is perfect for what we want. We did have a much more modern combine last year, but it cost a lot more money to keep it around. This of course will cost us a lot less. We're a lot less worried about everything we have, but it is still a good sized combine for what we're doing and for how we're working this. So yeah, I am very, very pleased and very happy with how this whole thing is going out. And yeah, we are going to end up. We already have 50,000 litres as of what we've just done. Now, are those falling over? Because I think those are withered, which is why we couldn't get that. Nope, we could get that. It's all good. Slightly outside of our divider is what that was. So yeah, let's finish this off. Let's get. I think we're going to get another full trailer, which will be 60,000 litres off here. Absolutely cracking. Okay, so I think 60,000 might be a little bit premature. We've got very little of the field left. We have emptied out one more tank. Having said that, we are already 20% full at this point. So I think we've got at least another half a tank on here. Half a tank on here, though, is still another 3,500 litres, which would take us up. Which would take us up to 50,000 litres, I think. It would be, yeah, it's still going to be a big crop, a great wheat harvest off here. So I'm not by any means disappointed by that. I was worried we weren't going to get over 50,000 litres on here, but it is working very, very well. It is nice and dense. I mean, you can see the density of the wheat in here. I also think this might be a slightly longer video than normal, so hopefully you've enjoyed that. But getting this wheat out, absolutely prime importance today. And very pleased with how it's gone. And pleased that we've actually got ourselves a silo set up. I do like those Alien Gym silos, especially now that they are seasons ready. That makes them infinitely more useful. And actually, I've judged that last bit quite well. We've got a good width in our combine. I don't know if it's gonna. Yeah, we are gonna end up with a couple of tufts, I think. Yeah. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull across a bit, and just have it so that we've got a little row there to come back and finish on. Yeah, there we go. We're over half full again. So I don't know how close we're going to get to this magical 60,000 litres. Not close enough, I don't think, but still, as I said, 55,000 litres would still make me happy off this field. And did we leave it? We left a little tuft there as well, didn't we? Yeah, we did. So I'll have to go back and get that, and we'll have to go back and get the other one. But this combine has performed well. It is a cracking combine. I think something like this would work well for us on the farm. But let us know in the comments. It is far cheaper than any other combine that has been out there for us, and is just working fine. And is something that doesn't get used a lot. You know, the Deutz-Fahr, the top liner version of this combine. You really don't see it in many places. Where are we? We are at 61%, another 4,000 litres. Right, we'll stop the thresher at that point. Bring up our tractor. And yeah, we have a lot of baling to do next time. This entire field needs to be baled up. And and collected and sold, because if we don't do that next time, we are going to be we're going to hit some rain, and then we're going to lose money on the bales. So yeah, that's where that is. This should give us, how much will this give us? We are over 75%. We are, oh wow. We are getting very close to that 60,000 litres. In fact, we have 60,000 litres. With that much, we must have. Let's have a look what we got in storage. 51,693 litres. We do. We have 60,000 litres. That is absolutely perfect. And on that note, on that absolute bombshell, that is where we're going to end this video. All that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos and live streams from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.